Hello, beautiful! Today I'm going to talk about choices. Most of us assume that having choices is a symbol of modern civilization and a well-functioning market economy. Indeed, in a sizable chunk of the modern world, if you are living in a society with a stable political regime, is open to international trade, and has a decent mass of hardworking population, then you can usually make abundant choices in your life. You can choose where to go to school, what jobs to look for, whom to date, whether and when you want to have kids, so on and so forth. And whenever you go to a store, there are gazillion things you don't need to choose from. It's no wonder that Amartya Sen, a Nobel Prize winner in economics, defines economic development as the expansion of choices for members of society. It's easy to see that more choices means more freedom. However, that's only true to a certain extent. After a certain tipping point, having more choices is actually constraining. It becomes a burden instead of freedom. Because when your options double, the size of information about those options that you need to process also double. Imagine if you go to the grocery store and you want to make the optimal choice of the best box of cereal to buy. You go down the cereal aisle, there are 200 boxes lined up on each side. If you read the information on each of the cereal box, it will probably takes you an entire day to do this simple grocery shopping. That's why there are huge industries in modern society, from sales and marketing to software engineering to all kinds of consultants to help you process the data so that you can make choices. Still, as the number of options increase substantially, it can get really overwhelming. If you want to find a software or an app or an analyst to help you analyze the data and make choices, there are actually so many of them available out there that you probably need some other help to help you analyze the data about the people that will help you analyze your data. Am I the only one thinking this is kind of crazy? Anyway, my point is, a lifestyle where you have to sort through millions of options to find out the best solution for big and small things is ineffective. It can make you run around all day to gain very little. Maybe that's why everybody is so busy. I believe the next stage of human evolution is not to have more choices, but less. In fact, it relies on the opposite of choice. So what is the opposite of choice? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a C too. The opposite of a choice is a calling. Think about it. A calling is something that you feel compelled to do. You don't sit there and go, I will pick this calling and that one. No, you don't have much of a choice in that. A calling is something like, for example, in the biblical story of Jonah and whale. God wants Jonah to go to point A. Jonah didn't want to go. He chose to get on a ship going the opposite direction. And God created a storm. Jonah got thrown overboard, swallowed up by a whale, and the whale sent him back to point A, where he was destined to go. He was trying to make choices, but it didn't work. A calling can feel just like that. No matter whether you feel like it or not, there is a force in you stronger than your intelligence, than your willpower to actually push you in that direction. I define a calling as an optimized choice made for you by the supercomputer of the universe. When you have a calling, your life is simpler. You don't have to waste time and energy in analyzing options that you end up not going to choose, which is the majority of them. Now, this doesn't have to only apply to big things like career choices or relationship choices. You can have a calling about where to go for lunch, if it is a knowing deep in your heart that compels you into action. And to me, the ideal life is when you have to make as little choice as possible, and life runs on moment-by-moment inspirations. Some people, artists, psychologists, they call this a state of flow, where whatever inspiration and information you need just magically appears whenever you need them. You're functioning at your best, as if operating on divine will. So the really important question is, how do you get more callings? I wish there were a step-by-step guide of finding callings. Since I haven't found such a guide, here are some of the things that will at least make the arrival of callings easier. For example, get out of your head and use your other faculties more often. It's likely that your callings are not written in a book somewhere, and even if they are, you're probably not going to recognize them when you see them if you are stuck in your analytical mind all the time. Also, Do things that exercise your creativity more often. Drawing, writing, making music. Spend more time with yourself. You don't have to sit there meditating and chanting Om. You can go to nature, write a journal, or go to the movies by yourself. All these things help fine-tune your senses and make you a clearer channel for whatever inspirations that come through. Okay, that's all for this week. If you like this video, don't forget to share it and subscribe to my email list following the link below. See you next time.